Adams and Rincon are both leading the team in goals and assists respectively. They are together up top at their two first-team loanees for Columbus Crew. And the back five remains the same. However, Nate Crockford got sent off in Chicago last week. Just a couple moments here and there as we get the first whistle coming from our center official, Ben Meyer, who was doing double duty after being the fourth official last night in Hell is Real. Over. Cincinnati going 3 for 3 in terms of games played in games won in April before taking that 2-1 loss against Chicago, but they'll have to defend as Amraka tries to wiggle through but got taken down. This allows Columbus to take the free kick right after the mark of the 11th. Just a bit of a header that allows Amraka to attempt to settle down, but he was clipped from behind. That was Steven Jimenez coming in. And this allows Columbus Crew 2 to take their first real opportunity of the game, yet to even attempt a shot is Columbus, as the conference call commences for who's going to take. You've got Rincon, you've got Amraka. Chase Adam peels out. Amraka and Rincon sent towards goal, and that's overhead. But a nice attempt there as he got just barely over the wall. Had USL League One at the time, NCFC now part of USL Championship, but provided him plenty of professional experience dating back the last 4 seasons. And this will be back-to-back free kicks for Columbus. Less than 1 minute apart from one another. Rincon took the first, Amraka alongside once more. Rincon and Amraka do it again. Only a minute plus after they just went for goal. This time it's Amraka. It's a service headed down by Cincy. It's still alive as that allows the chase to come, and it's going to be possessed as Quentin Elliott. It was the first one there, and that allows Crew to hang on for a little bit. Chris Rogers, he wears the captain's armband today as he tries to direct traffic from back. Trying to outrace this man is Chase Adams, and he's able to. Fed into the box, trying to go in front. Couldn't quite connect with Quentin Elliott, but it was last touched by Cincy, and this allows Columbus to get their second corner. And you can already see Columbus trying to make their opportunities go, as we just talked about how Cincy had the second fewest shot attempts across MLS Next Pro. Only 67, that's only one more than Columbus, who have the fewest at 66 attempts going into the weekend. Back-to-back corners for Columbus. Another in-swinger, headed up, not out. Still a bit of a coin toss in possession there, as the first one to the ball will be Crew 2. As you just saw, Ruvalcaba just letting that one go free. Ruvalcaba, he's got Brown alongside. Sai. Skies it towards Rincon. Rincon just trying to get away from Caicedo, who's harassing him. Back for Sai. Poked up along. Habron gets it through! And Crew 2 open it up 15.5 minutes in. Taha Habron gets this play going as he just looks for the lane right in between the Cincinnati defense. And bar in for Habron to get the first goal for Columbus. appreciate and thank everyone coming in on this Sunday afternoon for Heck is Plausible between Columbus Crew 2 and Cincinnati 2. Both of whom looking to turn their seasons around as the bottom two teams in the Eastern Conference after being playoff teams a year ago. Both sit at 1-4-2. The only difference in the standings in terms of the points have been the pair of draws. Columbus couldn't close the deal on either of those two games. Cincinnati were able to, which is the purpose of the 2-point differential in the standings. And as we're only 8 games deep of 28, this could be a momentum builder for either side as Columbus attempt to continue to build up. Oh, and Prestis lost possession. This is a chance in front for Bomadem! Huge stop by Lapkus! The aggression from Stan Lapkus just absolutely coming way off of his line to challenge, and Bomadem 1v. Back again as Cincinnati want to try once more. Stefan Shirilla hangs on. Shirilla goes for the back post as that is bounced just outside of the frame. Caicedo wanted to equalize. The aggression from Stan Lapkus just absolutely coming way off of his line to challenge, and Bomadem 1v1. And Bomadem wanted to make it goals in 4 straight. But you had Stan Lapkus, 6'4" from Belarus, stepping in to make a gorgeous save on Kenji and Bomadem. Bomadem wanted to pressure Lapkus a little bit more as he just lets that one rip. 35 starts for Stan Lapkus in his 4th season in MLS Next Pro for the 19-year-old. Didn't play in his first season back in 2022, but has come up big since first taking his couple of starts in 2023 before becoming a regular in the last 2 seasons. Him and Luke Pruder have split the starts so far in 2025. Pruder not up for selection today as the backup is Devin Patel. Sai chips it up, but offside as the flag comes up. Straight out of play for the throw-in. Elliott centers for Adams. He's got Brown wide open on that near side. Tristan Brown. Emraka centers, touched on and stopped by Walters. This was the last opportunity for Brown. He wanted to get Chase Adams up the gut, was Emraka. Couple of big chances on both sides and a couple really testing the Cincinnati defense. One cleared off the line by the center back, Brian Schaefer. Another one from Paul Walters. And we have a stoppage in play. No stoppage time expected, and that's the result after 45 minutes of play. Taha Habron, the first goal of the game, as Columbus leads Cincinnati 1-0 at the half. Cincinnati in the white, right to left they go for the second half. Columbus, they're in the yellow, left to right they go for the second set of 45 as we return here to historic Crew Stadium in Columbus, Ohio on a relatively warm 72-degree day. Ryan Lee and the rest of our Apple TV crew, we welcome you so much for joining us here in Columbus for match number 10 in this Heck is Plausible rivalry. As this one's pitched along, Caicedo couldn't get the touch after the feed from Locker. Locker wanted to start right out of the gate on the fast foot, but could not connect with Caicedo. But possession continues with Cincinnati as it is Shirilla cutting across. Locker for Manana, Augie for Mbomadam are the 2 subs for Cincinnati. Columbus will stand pat in the second half as this one is launched deep. Sharilla to settle as he has a man in his face. Sharilla can't get across. Sharilla punched out by Lopkis, out of play, corner Cincinnati. Lopkis working with that eyebrow patch as Stefan Sharilla tried to wiggle past the man in front. That was Rival Kaba as he gave it a go. 21-year-old in his first season in MLS Next Pro after spending the last 2 seasons in Gonzaga. Outswinger off of the corner, still in the mix. Locker couldn't identify it. Here goes Augie, where they host the New York Red Bulls. That's on the docket, on the horizon, but first they got to deal with Stefan Sharilla trying to charge in once more. That last deflects off of Owen Prestis and should allow Cincinnati to take another corner. They got 2 in the entire first half. They've got 2 in the first 4 minutes of the second half. Corner upcoming for Stefan Sharilla. Punched out by Lopkis. Alive as it's held by Jimenez. Jimenez to chip. Headed up. Mangione in the mix. Poked out by Columbus. Still alive for Cincinnati as it's back for Sharilla. Sharilla to serve. Touch up off of Lopkis. Second chance is over. Cincinnati coming off of the locker room on such a fiery start. The first header was slapped out by Stas Lopkis. Sharilla for Sharilla potentially to equalize, but it... So Peter Mangione, he's done for the rest of this game as Andres Davila will come in for Cincinnati. That's going to be their 3rd sub. And there might be a couple on deck as well for Columbus, but Federico Higuain will keep those in the pocket. So that now is Cincinnati utilizing 3 of their subs. Columbus yet to try anything new as this one is up the gut. He's got an opportunity. Tristan Brown, one-on-one. Tristan Brown just missed the mark. Unable to get it after beating out the entire defensive line for Cincinnati on the outstretched arms of Paul Walters. Higuain will utilize his 2 subs, Federico Higuain for Anthony Alloway and Brett Adu-Giampi for Cole Mraka and Taha Habron, the 2 who were linked up on that opening goal. Delivery attempted for Sharilla as it's fought for. Sharilla from range and it's swatted down by Stas Lopkis. Easily corralled for Lopkis. The heck is plausible derby. Columbus Crew 2, FC Cincinnati 2. 1-0 the scoreline from Taha Habron, from Cole Mraka in Ibra Sai. That came back in the 16th minute. Only goal to speak of. Columbus lead the head-to-head with 6 wins. 2 have gone Cincy's way in this derby battle. And they've only gone to PKs once. And that was a decision that gave Columbus the extra point way back when. This is their first of 2 meetings in 2025. The next one coming in the final week of September. As this is a strip away, Nico Rincon's got space. Rincon, he's got options, lays it across, goes for Alloway! Saved by Walters! And out of play for a throw. Rincon, he knew he had Alloway to beat the line that was right there, and Alloway on the full sprint. The handball will go against Columbus Crew 2. Gets around Elliott, Hurtado fighting, and that will do it. Columbus Crew come through for their second win in 2025.